All righty. All righty. It's just like being on the radio, isn't it? Okay. All right. Okay. You're listening to the George Espinlab Show, or not only listening, I'm used to saying that for years and years on the radio. Uh, you're watching the George Espinlab Show, and we are streaming live from the Funny Farm in a place called Our World. You get to see this ugly mug. uh, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. But nonetheless, 71 years has been hard on this old boy. But nonetheless, if you're down the street, around the corner, across America, or somewhere around this great big world, we are delighted to have you with us live. We have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful show, and we want to invite everyone to come in and be part of this show tonight. We're going to wait for a few minutes to see how many more viewers we can get in here. But we have a wonderful guest. We had Essi on, I think it was about a month and a half, 2 months ago, somewhere in that time frame. And when we had him on, he was on his way to Hollywood. In fact, we interviewed him that night on the radio. He was in his vehicle journeying to Los Angeles, California, and he was so kind to pull over and he communicated with us by phone. He called into the station and we had a wonderful time. Uh, and he has an incredible, incredible story to tell. This right here, if I can get this thing out of the way a little bit, uh, this is the book that he wrote, Shattered Soul, the true story of a child soldier. And in a minute, you will get to meet Essi in person. Shattered Soul, the true story of a child soldier by Essi Bagheri. It's a tremendous book. Please take time to read it, and we will show you how to get it in just a little bit. Another thing I want to show you is this. This is his website, don'tgiveupnow.com. Don'tgiveupnow.com. Uh, I'm trying to see where I'm at here. Don't give up. Don't give up now.com. So please go there. It's a very interesting website. You can read all about SE and you can see where you can purchase the book and so on and so forth. We have had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. It's been a long day. We're wearing down. We're getting a little tired. Let's see. We uh, we did a live stream uh, this afternoon, and then at 8 p.m. we came back and we went on the air on Spreaker.com, and we aired the program entitled Unshackled. It's a program that we run out of Chicago, Illinois, once or twice a week. Uh, it's the oldest dramatized radio show in history. Pacific Garden Mission produces and directs it, and they've been around for over 120 years. And we're just thrilled and we're delighted to be able to run their program Unshackled. So at 8 o'clock, we ran that. And then we bounced right back in, and now we are streaming live with Essi Bagheri. Uh, he's not only become, uh, what should I say? He's become a friend. He has become a true, genuine friend. Let me take this down off of here. Put that back up. All right. And now, as Charlie always says, with no further ado, let me get these comments up here. Okay. Uh, we will bring on Essi, and there he is. Essi, it's good to see you.
Thanks for having me again on your show. It's always pleasure talking to you.
And you are speaking to us from where?
Right now, I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada.
So you're way over there on the western end, and I'm way over here on the eastern part.
That's correct. Yes, East and West.
What modern technology does, and how we can hook up and communicate nowadays, huh? It's really something.
Totally, totally. It's amazing how our world has changed, from many years ago.
I'll bet to you, and I mean this as a compliment, uh, to you in your life's journey. This technology, it blows me away. I imagine it really blows you away too, doesn't it?
Definitely, definitely. We live, not long ago, we were just using those, you know, payphone, and we had to walk a couple blocks and able to use the payphone. And now we are very blessed, and sometimes it's a little too much, but social media and phone and all these things, but altogether, we are very blessed to have this technology in our hand.
Somebody wrote a comment there, Essie. Can you see it?
Yes, yes. Hello, Nancy. Thank you.
And another fellow wrote, "We're on our way home, but I'll be back on." So as the comments come in, we'll throw them up there for you so you can see them.
For sure, for sure,
So
George.
so thus far, Essie, and we've only been into this for about 5 minutes or so. Thus far, and we knock on wood. I always knock on my head uh, and cross our fingers. But thus far, what do you think of this live streaming?
So far, so good. Actually, that's first time I done live stream like that. So it's always something new to learn, and especially with what I do, it's good for me to practice this. And sometimes I don't know where to look, and but it's like anything else. We do it time after time, and we get used to it.
Yeah, it's really something. You was talking about telephones going to the payphone, uh, and they don't have any of those anymore. You couldn't find a payphone if your life depended on it. Uh,
That's right.
now now we carry those phones in our pocket, in our hands, on our belt, and it don't seem like we can leave home without them, does it?
No, no, everybody has it. Everybody.
Well, Essie, I'm so glad to have you back tonight. And we finally get to meet eyeball to eyeball, my friend.
I know it's pleasure, George. I've been talking to you and seen our posts, and we've been. But it's always nice to put the face into someone's that you've been talking to. So it's pleasure talking to you and looking at you at the same time, my friend.
Yeah, that's what I said. 71 years have been rough on this old mug, but it's all that I got. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
I I, I told people uh, on the radio when I announced this, and for the last several days we've been announcing about our live stream. But I told people that we've had so many guests on, and I've done radio. I've been involved in radio in one way, shape, or form since 1976. So uh, I've seen a lot of things come and go, and this and that, and those and these. But I told people we have had such wonderful guests on our show over the years. Uh, we've had bands and authors and ministers, uh, people from all walks of life. And we've interviewed people from Morocco, Australia, New Zealand, England, and it goes on and on and on and on. But I said, this is an opportunity to bring our guests back because you listen to them on the radio, but there is something different when you can see them uh, live and lit up as they really are. And that's what this whole thing is about, Essie. We had you on the radio, and then when we started this live streaming, I thought I got to get Essie back, and I got to get him live streamed so people can see Essie. Uh, I think the message goes, it resonates with people when they can see someone, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Totally, definitely. There's always, there's always something about you watching someone talk and looking in their eyes, and basically it's gives more more feeling, more real, that this is real, even though if you're other side of the country, you're east and west. But when you put the face into someone's, as we talk, as I said, we talk many times, and it's good. It's a new experience for me too, George.
Yeah, it's I like it. I really think it's cool. I
Yes.
I just kind of like it. But anyhow, uh, Essie, you've had quite a journey in your life. Uh, could you start back at the beginning and kind of just walk us through certain things of your life?
For sure. Well, I let me. This time I'm going to do something different. I'm going
Okay.
to start talking about what I've been doing, and then of course there is as the last time we talked was a couple months ago, and I was driving to Los Angeles to meet some producers and production companies, and people that into the movie, and I had no idea where what I was doing and where I'm going. But um, it's uh, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, George, to experience that, especially a person that in my case, where I came from, not even just many years ago, even 5, 6, 7 years ago, being in a place of addiction and trauma and depression and loneliness and wanted to die. And now that I'm going to meet these people that it's like it's unbelievable. It's just but there is a message to that, as some of my story, that I wasn't born here. When I was 13 years old, I was brainwashed to walk in a landmine and blow myself up in the name of God. And after I see my friends blown up front of me, I had change of heart, and I couldn't go back, George, and say I'm sorry, I changed my mind. So the only choice that I had at the time was um, to pull out my gun and shoot myself. And and the rest is history, George.
Hmm, hmm. So when we talked last time, you pulled off the road and you shared your story with us and so on and so forth. You were on your way to Los Angeles. And so you went there and you met with what, producers, directors, screenwriters, and all those types of
Mhm.
people. What was that like?
Well, it was as I said earlier, it was overwhelming, overwhelming, especially um, you know the way that my life turned out. I never thought that someone like me, could do things like that, even get in a car and drive to Los Angeles, and but it was a tremendous experience to see, not just because they're producers or production companies. It's just me as a person, compared where I was a few years ago, and the transformation as a result of the work I've been doing on myself, to take a chance and write a book and go and do things like that, George, and go and see a production company, that people that make a decision on $1 million, and like it's like it was overwhelming, to be honest with you. But you know what, I had a great time, and I meet fantastic people, and that's why I don't know if I told you yet or not, but we are working on putting a treatment for a screenplay as we speak, and see where it goes from there.
Wow. You must have had to pinch yourself uh, not only once, but several times just to make sure that it was really you in that. place, right?
Yes. Well, totally, totally. See, George, as we talked before, uh, after the I shot myself and I had to escape from Iran. So I escaped from Iran to East Germany and from East I mean to Istanbul, from Istanbul to East Germany, from East Germany I jumped into midnight train and came to I went to West Germany and became refugee in a refugee camp. And this is a guy that uh, carried a lot of trauma, lot of like depression, anxiety. Not long ago I couldn't sleep. There was like time that I really like people that they I was yelling while I was sleeping. I was going through so much pain. And and uh, uh, what is my message, George, here? That even though, in spite of what I've been through, there is hope. No matter where you come from, what color you are, how much money you have, I believe whatever, if we go through the transformation and we put our heart and our mind to help other people, and we have a goal, we can achieve whatever we put our mind to it. And in my case, I have some short-term goals and some long-term goals, and I'm working, and there's power greater than myself. There's the universe that allow me to navigate and do things, and to do how can I be in service to other people. And as a result, I have a phenomenal life, George.
You have an incredible story. I often take the time, more so since I've gotten older, I take the time to just sit back, get somewhere where there is no noise, no devices, uh, nothing but myself. Well, I picture myself when I get alone like that. I get there and I think I am but a microscopic speck
Mhm.
on this planet. But yet, I have the ability to do or reach my goals and be a help to other people, that one microscopic speck helps another microscopic speck. And before you know
Mhm.
it, a whole bunch of microscopic specks are helping a whole bunch of microscopic specks. Does that make sense?
Of course, and you're totally right. See, we are living in a society is all about, like how my whole idea is about having peace of mind. And I have to let your audience know it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. It's been time that I've been depressed, that I couldn't get out of bed. It's been time that I've been broke, and it's been time that I didn't have anything to eat. And it's time, but what I one thing continue I've been doing is get up and show up, and see what's the next right thing to do. What's the next right thing to do? And realize that I am responsible. My whole life, George, I blame everybody and everything about my suffering. And the only thing that I learned, that I had to get to the point that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I had to take a chance and get help. With my trauma, with my addiction, I've been to 17 treatment centers, 29 detoxes, psych ward, and and sitting and talking to you, and as I said, going to meet all these production companies and producers, and it's like how that happened. If someone like me can overcome depression, anxiety, trauma, addiction, and uh, anybody can. And that's my message, George.
Let me pop this back up here so I can explain this to my audience. you over here. We'll go back this way. Okay, here we are. But nonetheless, you can go to. Let me put it back up here. Once I find it again, you can go to. There's Essie's website. Don'tgiveupnow.com. We mentioned it before, but I want you to get familiar with it. Uh, don'tgiveupnow.com. Essie, if they want to purchase your book, where can they do that?
Well, there my book is on Amazon, and also um, my website is do not give up now.com.
Mhm.
Do not give up now.com, and then you can go on and to my website and see the pictures that I've been in war, and the other interviews that I had, and also you can order the book from my website.
Okay, so I got it wrong here. I have don't give up, but it should be do not, right?
Do not give up now. That's correct, George.
Well, that's one thing we can fix that.
Yeah, maybe it was my mistake sending a wrong one. May I take responsibility, George?
No, that was my fault, Essie, because I was on
Yeah.
the website and I looked right up and saw the URL on there.
Uh,
Uh,
okay.
so that was my fault, but we can fix that. That's no problem at all. Uh, we just make up another one; it'll flash right back up there. So, uh, can you take about 30 seconds, and then we'll come right back? I'm going to run a little promo here. Is that all right?
Of course, of course.
All righty. We'll go down here. We'll go down here. And that's our new guy. We just hired him. He's our new drummer. What do you think of that, Essie?
It was it was fun. It was fun. I like the song. I like the music it shows.
Yeah, we just hired that guy. Uh, he he fits right in here at the funny farm. He does a fantastic job on those drums. But I just thought I'd run that in there
It
real.
was fun.
So you're doing some inspirational, motivational speaking. Is that correct?
That's correct, George. I believe that I didn't go through all the suffering. I didn't go through all the pain just to for myself. I believe that my experience and my journey. It's I used to really deep feel self pity and all the things that I felt my whole life. Who would have known one day all this suffering and humiliation and pain can be an asset, and I can go and talk to other people, talk to teenagers, talk to other people, then they come and ask me to mentor them. And what a blessing! What a blessing! And another experience that I had as a result of doing that, nothing would uh, make me feel better when I see a change in someone's eyes, and I see the transformation, not because of me, but by me being part of their lives and seeing the change. It's you can't put a price on that, George. And and that's why I never thought that I'm a people person, George. I love people, and as a result of that, I want to be involved. I want to be involved in public speaking. I want to be involved to go to schools and to places that I can share my experiences, strength, and hope, and see how can I change someone's life. So yes, to answer your question, I've been doing that for a while.
Was there one during your journey? Was there one person or a group of people that inspired you, challenged you uh, to get yourself together?
I can. Great question, George. Great question. Um, I believe the 12 step program that I entered into it started a journey of me basically getting better. And after I stayed sober and I start looking for other like I had to go through a series of trauma group, counseling, 12 step meeting, sponsor. You know, I have few key people in my life that they supported me through my journey, through all the hardship that I had, and they know who they are, and I forever grateful to have them, and forever grateful for God and the power that put them in my life to help me. And as a result of that, I want to do the same thing in my best ability to do this to help other people.
Everybody needs somebody, don't they, Essie?
Totally, totally. You know, it's like George. When I was in Germany in a refugee camp, I never thought that one day I come to Canada, and that's like over 30 years, and 1988, and suffer for years in you know, like I mean suffer that I don't wish it for anybody, and overcome that, and now sitting and talking to you and sharing my experience. I would have never thought in a million years that that I could be able, and I had the confidence or self esteem. I always my whole life I hated myself and the way that that I felt. But that today is not the case, George. Today, I proud the man that I became, and you know, for many years I wasn't the boy that I wasn't proud the man that he was, but today I'm proud the man who I became.
You have an incredible story. Trying to get myself scrooched around here. Uh, an incredible story, incredible journey. Are you getting speaking engagements? Where, and if you are, where are you speaking at?
Well, as I said, I've been mostly speaking in 12 step places like treatment centers and you know, detoxes, and helping other people. And I am right now, as we speak, in a training, public speaking courses training that I took to be more comfortable and to mold my career, craft my message, and to do it in a bigger stage. But it's like anything else. It's a step by step. It takes time.
Wow. So, do you have to write part of this screenplay, or is somebody else writing it, and you're kind of uh, overseeing it? How's this thing working?
Well, I met the last time that I went to LA. I met this wonderful um, screenwriters and screen that they done screenwriting before, and they won an award, and I checked them out, and now as we speak, they're working on it's she's working on a treatment, which first of all they do a treatment, and after the treatment we do a screenplay, and of course um, I it has to be something that that goes with my belief, and it's not just making money. It's like how can we impact other people at the same time, and that's yes, I have saying in what to how it gonna comes out.
Is there any time frame? Do you have any target date?
Well, our the treatment will be finished by end of this month, in the end of October, and after that we have 2 months, 2.5 months to finish the screenplay, and then there are production companies and producers and executive that I met in Los Angeles. They requested. They said, "We want. Yes, we like your story. We like your book," and they requested to put it into a movie version, and that's what we're doing right now.
Wow. Who would have ever thought? Et-
Yeah, yeah.
Essie, when you were a child soldier and uh, facing the trauma and the ugliness of war, the only thing that you could possibly think of, and you stated it before, was, I don't want to live. It's just, this is just too miserable. This is just too traumatic.
Hmm.
But from way back there, as a young man in Iran, to way up here where you're at now, it's only by the grace of God that you're here. Don't you agree?
Definitely, definitely, and there's nothing less of miracle. I believe. I believe the only reason that I'm here is that I have a purpose. God, as you mentioned, God put me in this situation, go through all the things that I went, and to basically I have a purpose, and my purpose is to love and to carry message of love. And it wasn't long ago, George, that I was. I was living in this shitty hotel with the cockroaches and drinking and using drugs, and there was and it's I want to tell you this story because I was so there was this mouse, George. There's this mouse would come and run from one side of the room to another, and I start throwing some food for the mouse, and then he or she start basically not running, and I start sharing my feelings, and my life came to that point. I was so lonely at the time that this mouse was the only person that I was talking to, and from there, and I wanted to die. From there to where I'm at today, it's not me doing. Yes, I take action. I'm responsible for my life, but I believe that there is a power greater than myself. There's a higher sources beyond my anything I can put into word that that's helping me and directing me to do the things that I do.
Thank you for sharing that, Essie. Uh, there's not many people around that would bare their soul and say that in their darkest moment they were actually talking to a mouse. Uh, and that just goes to show how far down someone can tumble in life.
Mhm. Yeah, it's I put it. There's more stories like this in my book, as and the reason I chose the name Shattered Soul, because George, my soul was shattered. My whole existence was shattered to pieces. I could not recognize who I was, and that is story in particular, George, is in the book. So if your audience want to learn more, there's more in the book.
Wow. And I was sitting here thinking, Essie, that you were in that particular low place of life And you just multiply that. If someone will just stop long enough to think, if you just multiply that by several million times,
Hmm.
there are so many people out there that are going through the darkest time of their life. They're walking through the deepest valley of their life. Uh, their soul too has been shattered by
Hmm.
something or someone. Uh, you're not only on a mission, you have a ministry about you.
Thank, thank you, George. Totally, and that's basically what that's my message, because I know, and I see, and I witness people that they're going through so much pain, and there are people that they're suffering, and if I have any message, that there is hope. And if someone, and that's why people say, you know what, I believe the only way that we can touch other people's hearts, George, is to be vulnerable.
Yes.
Because being vulnerable is, and that's why I people read my book and say, Essi, you are just so raw. And the only way that I could touch someone's heart is to be vulnerable and to tell the darkest and the darkest. And that's why I talk about all the things that I do, but at the same time, the real thing is where I came from. And every time that sometimes I get depressed, and as a human, the biggest thing today in my life, George, is gratitude. Gratitude that for the things that I have, for the roof. We live in North America. We are so blessed. We are so blessed, that we have everything that we possibly need. And someone like me who's been from other side of the world and see the chaos and atrocity, and now living in Canada or US, or it's just we are so blessed and spoiled.
You said that word vulnerable, Essie.
Yeah.
If more of us, everybody's afraid of that word. I don't want to make myself vulnerable. So we hide behind a shield, or we wrap
Hmm.
ourselves in a plastic bubble, uh, and we pretend, because that old saying, everything isn't as it appears to be. Uh, and you don't have to be down and out on the street to be in that dark, deep place. You can be a company executive. You can be this and that. This thing affects people from all walks of life, doesn't it?
Oh, totally, totally. The biggest things that I notice, and I experienced it myself, is having a putting that mask, because I don't want you to really see I'm suffering. I don't want you to see that I'm having hard time. And we put all these facade looks and front for you, because what we do, why we doing that? Because we want to be liked, we want to be loved, and we're doing these things that it's one of the things that's like, what you think about me, what people say about me is controlling my whole existence. And enable to overcome that and not really care, not really care, not judging myself with what other people's have or don't have, or the way they look, or and it's really, really, it's a freedom that I cannot explain it.
When I think about that, uh, while you were speaking, I was thinking, uh, the plastic, the facade, the front, and all these other things that we do. We want everybody to think our life is just a bowl of cherries.
Hmm.
Everything's coming up roses. But then on the other hand, I thought, as God looks at us, He sees He sees the ugliness
Hmm.
that we try to hide. He hears the ugliness that we try to hide. He sees us in our rawest sense. Uh, and my, oh my, and He loves us, and
Yes.
He cares for us. Uh, you said that people said that you were just too raw, but my,
Hmm.
if there's any one way to cleanse the soul, it's just to be real and come raw, isn't it?
Totally, totally. It's you know, it's we living in society that, especially with social media, you know, we are. People, they put posts, especially teen, the new generation, and some people, they don't, nobody give them likes of, likes their posts, and they get depressed. We are in a generation that, I also talk about resilience to not, to be stronger, and to not give up just for a, because life will, George, uh, I'm pretty sure we all, all your audience experience that life will hit you, either you like it or not. Life will hit us.
That's
It's like, but how to approach it and how to handle that, that would be, that's the key. And I learn, and I'm not saying I'm perfect and I know how to handle things. No, I have my downtime, which we all do. But one thing that I learned today is, how can I, is there something about, I just love people. It's just, I don't know. And as a result of that, like, people that they really don't know my story, when they heard my story, George, they can't believe it. They say, how could that happen? Like, your personality, the way you handle, the way you talk, and then they hear my story, and or they read my book and say, oh my God. And the only thing that I can say is the transformation, having faith in God and going through a process, and it's the rest is history. It's not just me doing. There's power greater than myself.
there's probably a lot of people, Essie, that has walked away from you after you've had a conversation with them, and they were just scratching their head, thinking,
Mm-hmm.
uh, "Man, what? How can that guy do that? I mean, what he's been through and all this and that." And so they walk away scratching their head, and it doesn't leave them. It goes deep into their soul, and I don't believe that whether it was a meeting for 30 seconds or 30 minutes or whatever it was, uh, there's an impression that's burnt deep into their soul after they meet you. Have you found that to be true?
Oh, totally, totally. It's like, I I consider I've been told by other people that, Essie, you're so easy to talk to. You're so, just the compliment that I get is, it's obviously, it's, I appreciate it, and but at the same time, it's like, it's a gift. It's a gift to know that I've been going through all these things. And it's like, uh, I don't know. It's like, I meet friends. I have no problem walking to elevator or walking the street and look it in your eyes and say, hi, how are you? How's your day? Like, it's like, because it's just I'm so blessed to be alive and have the opportunity. I'm so, blessed to be part of. Um, because sometimes we act, George, or sometimes we behave like we're going to live another 1,000 years. We are in this life for a short amount of time, and we got to take advantage of it and live the best we can. And I'm trying to do that in my best ability.
Wow. Incredible, incredible story. Did I get it right this time?
Yes, yes. Do not give up now.com. And that's my message. Do not give up now, my friend.
Oh, do not give up now.com. Wow.
That's good.
And that's the amazing part about this live stream thing. If you goof up on a banner or something, you can just uh, make it go away and make a new one and pop it right back up. So, uh, wow. So, you're talking about the screen or the writing will be done. The first part will be done the end of November or the end of this month.
October, end of this month.
and then the screenwriting begins. Is that how it works?
Yeah, then screenwriting begins uh, in November, and by January, February, hopefully by end of February.
Okay. What an incredible, incredible story. And you're working. You're working too. Is that right?
Yes, yes, somebody has to pay the bills, George. Of course, it feels good to be productive. I really, I get up every morning, I go to work, and I do, you know, I do what I have to do, in able to. I learned this, that we got to do what we have to do, in able to get to the point that we do what we really love to do, and I believe that any job that we can do to be self-supporting, to our own contribution, and be part of society, and which I wasn't for many years, and it feels good to be part of society and contribute. So, um, yeah.
So, what's your further plans? Of course, you're involved in this screenwriting thing. You're
Yes.
working. What's some of your other plans, or how's this whole thing coming together? What are you looking at down the road?
Well, my ultimate, see, I have I set a goal, and there is a long-term goal, there's short-term goals, and my daily goal is to be grateful no matter what. That's my daily goal, and I have the long-term goal is to the movie to come out and impact millions of people,
Hmm.
and then I be able to travel and go places and share my experience, and my story of redemption, and my story of hope, and that's my long term goal, and see what God has in store for us.
Wow, you're a good man, Essie,
Thank
A-
you, George.
and
Thanks for all your support.
I consider you a good friend. I mean that, a good
Thank
friend.
you.
I tell our guests this, and I mean it every time I say it. You've got my phone number. You've got the whole 9 yards. Anytime you need me, you call me. Anytime you want to talk, you call me. Whatever it might be, you call me, message me, whatever, however we stay in contact. Uh, but please do that. My phone, I'm like everybody else nowadays. I always got my phone in my pocket, in my hand, somewhere. It's right handy. Uh, you just stay in touch with me, Essie, because you became a fine, fine friend. And
For sure.
I thank
Thank
you
you,
for that.
George. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, and if I don't say your last name right, please forgive me. Do not give up now.com. Essie Bagheri. Is that right?
That's correct. Essi Bagheri, yeah.
All righty. Essie, God bless you. Thank you for taking the time to come on. I believe this is going to resonate over and over and over and over again. And I tell people, this is when the magic starts with social media and all those uh, things that's out there, because it's not only a one time thing and it goes away, it just stays there. And people come to it and come to it and come to it and come to it. And we'll even get better at this live stream thing here as we go along. But I certainly appreciate you taking the time to come back with us.
My pleasure.
I appreciate you so very, very much. And God bless you, Essie. And you'll be back again. I know you will. You'll be back again.
Thank you very much for having me again, and God bless you, my friend, and all the best with whatever you do, George.
Thank you, Essie. We'll see you later.
Great. Thank
Oh,
you. Good night.
all right. Good night.
Okay.
All right. That was Essie Bag Harry. Man, I have a I have a problem with my own name, But you're listening. You're 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 watching. You're watching. There's some things that we've got to figure out with this this machine as we ride along into the future, and use this as another vehicle to reach out to people. But uh, one of those things is that, like anything new, and don't forget we're old, so some of us around here it takes a little bit longer to figure some things out than it does you younger folks. Uh, but we're trying to figure out when we announce that we're going to go live streaming, how to get that out. I guess it comes up on the post where we post it. Uh, but how you get in here is I'm going to have to get familiarize myself with this thing. If somebody out there can help us, pop in and tell us a comment or whatever. But I don't know. It might be a little hard for people to find us. What do you click on? Do you go to the George Espinlove show page and that thing lights up and says they're now live, and you watch it from there? I'm not sure. When somebody out there comes in here, would you please tell me how you got here? If not tonight, at another time. Will that be all right? Okay, do that for me. And then there there is our new drummer that is here, and I want to introduce you to him. He just new here at the Funny Farm. We found out that he can really get it going, so we brought him on the Funny Farm, and he fits right in. Doesn't he get it going? He get it going. We got a longer version of that, and as we move along, we'll bring more of that out to you. But isn't he cool? He fits right in here at the Funny Farm. I want to thank Essi Bagheri for being with us. What an incredible story! There is the book that you can purchase. Right there it is. Shattered Soul, the true story of a child soldier. It's an incredible story. Incredible story. And Essie went from the battlefield as a very young boy. Uh, and now he's been to Hollywood and they're working on a screenplay. Then the film producers are going to do what they do. And eventually you're going to see a movie about Essie Bagheri, Shattered Soul, the true story of a child soldier. Uh, you talk about a man that has been there, done that several times over. He has been there, done that. Incredible story of redemption, uh, God's grace. My oh my, shattered soul, soul, shattered soul. The true story of a child soldier. My oh my oh my oh my. That's it's just incredible. It's just incredible that he is even alive today. I'm trying to find out where to get this thing off of here. Okay, there it goes. Uh, Earlier tonight on our show, on our radio show, we played Unshackled. Uh, it was another great episode of a true story of someone who lost their way, and until they were unshackled, they had no hope. But after they were unshackled, they rose up and uh, their life was put back together again. Wow, we've got some great plans for this live stream thing. We really do. Uh, if I get this thing adjusted right, we have a lot of good things planned for this. Uh, and as we creep along, it's like a baby. At least I'm like a baby. It's creeping and crawling until you learn how to walk. So we're getting ourselves familiar with this, seeing all the additives and all the tools that's in this toolbox, and so on and so forth. But I appreciate it. And if anyone has any comments, please leave them. Uh, this will be on the George Espinlab show page, so people can view it over and over and over again. We are broadcasting also to YouTube, so it's going to be on YouTube. We're trying to get our feet wet, and I thank Essie for coming on tonight. I thank those that have tuned in, and I know that there'll be others that will tune in later. And the next time we do a live stream, somebody tell me how you got here. I just because I'm already here, uh, and I want people out there to come in here with me. So if the next time we're doing a live stream, just jump in here and say, "Hey, this is how I got here. I did this, I did that," and uh, it'll ease my mind. I'm going to go ask my wife. She's uh, when I hook up with her again, I'm going to ask her, "How did you get in here?" Because I have no idea. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't say goodnight until we do this. Let me find it for you. This live stream stuff's pretty good. Until we do this, it wouldn't be a George Espinlob live show at the Funny Farm without this.
Oi, 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 oi.
Uh, Peter has been on the Funny Farm for I don't know how many years. He just can't get control of that cough, and he will not. He will not go to the Funny Farm medical facility and get treatment. But he usually comes walking through, and he don't stay in one spot too long. But just about every time we're on the radio, and now that we're live streaming, he just kind of walks through the building, waltzes along. He's not really hooked up to anything. Uh, he needs to be, but he just kind of wanders along, and every now and then that cough and spell hit him, and he don't care where he's at, who's around. He just goes and does his thing. But uh, we like Peter being around here, and we certainly would miss his drama. So, hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for hanging in there with me all day. We did two live streams. We did a radio show. Let me bounce over here and let you see. That is uh, the Espen blog. The Espen blog, the George Espinlove show, the radio show, and now this and Unicorn Chasing with Maxine and Walter. It's all integrated together. It all goes together. It's all one and the same. uh, Run by all the crazy people around here that makes up the gang at the Funny Farm. But that's the blog. And if you want to, there is the address, the URL, and you just go to Facebook, uh, go to the George Espinlove show page, and you can read all about it. And there's links to take you right into the show as we go into the show. Uh, so there's plenty going on. There's plenty going on, but everything you see is hooked up and uh, coupled together. And so we want to reach out. We want to reach out and reach more people. The more people we can reach, the better off we are. So uh, we're going to close this thing out tonight. We've been on an hour and 1 hour and, well, just about 1 minute by the time we get out of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, family, neighbors, and countrymen, thank you for lending me both of your ears, and in this case, for tuning in and watching with us. Uh, we'll get this thing right somehow, some way. But thank you for hanging in there with us, and thank you for all those that are going to be looking and watching and listening. to the radio show and to our live feed. It'll be up on uh, YouTube, and it'll be on the George Espinlove show page on Facebook. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. I'm getting a little bit weary, and so we're going to sign off and say good night. But thank you. Thank you very, very much for being a part of this whole crazy menagerie. Good night, everybody.